All right. So where are we at here? We're on the Northshore tournament. We're in the opening round. It's on Thursday, so I got some time here. I maybe actually be able to play through it. So let's see. I'll shoot this in two videos. See what we got going. I think I have some club card trading. So let's start the day off with some club card trading. One of my viewers keeps talking to me about switching up and maxing out the razor so that I get 3 epics every day instead of 2. And I understand the deal about getting 3. The problem is that there's too many days that I'll get the Falcon, a Boomerang, and a Sahara, and I'm not interested in putting any points in those. So between now and when I run out of all other club cards, I'm only having to pick epics that I want. So my points right now are all going to only cards that I'm investing points in, and the off-roader happens to be one of them. So only those clubs. And then once I get to the point where I have to max out the razor, then I will get, but there will be way too many days where there's going to be 3 epics and I'm not putting points into any of those epics. And so I'm permanently losing those. So right now I'm just building up a bank for down the road, and I'm only having to pick cards that I want. So I'm maximizing my choice. That's why I'm doing it. So let's play some golf. So we're in the Northshore. We're in the opening round. And I'm in 77th place. Look at that. Is that an omen or what? Hole number 1. Let's go check it out. No, that was the wrong one. I've got my grid up. If anybody wants that grid, I have it posted. But if anybody wants the grid, I'll be more than happy to send you the code for it. It's Material Q is the program that I use, and you have to have an Android. So I was talking about this hole with one of my viewers the other day in a video I shot. And here's the thing, with an extra mile and a power 2 ball, you have plenty of room right here as long as you have a favorable wind. But if you have a non-favorable wind, you're up against your red line. So with an APOC, it gives you that little bit of extra space so that you could pull back from the red line, set the shot up, and then pull the wind out without having to do any overpower. And you don't need a lot of topspin or backspin to put the ball where you want it up here. So I'm going to I'll try it. I really, the more I thought about that after I shot that video, I'll tell you, there are a ton of things that I like about the Apocalypse. There's times when I liked curl, and if you watch my videos for a long time, I love curl. I love doing blind curl shots. I love doing those setup shots where you're out there and you're just pointing out in a direction and your opponent's trying to figure out what the hell you're doing, and you're doing a blind curl shot. You're just going to wrap it around the corner. You've set that shot up. You know the deal. And you can get that done with a 92 curl club. But the 3.0 ball guide versus 3.6, that's huge. Huge. And some of the key stats for me are accuracy and ball guide. And this is one of those situations where I'm so used to the 2.1 per ring and the 3.6 ball guide that it might be better than the 3.0 ball guide with the 1.5 accuracy. But there are times when the Apocalypse kicks ass. I'll try it out. I'll try it out on this hole because I wasn't using a lot. And I'm taking a katana. What was I doing? I can take a low wind ball here. I'm going to take a turkey. I got the right bag. We are off to the races. Hole number 1. Let's get it started. Let's see if we can. So I hit a great to the left, and it ended up just great to the left. And I hit a great to the right, and it ended up just off on the right-hand side. So I'm hoping that a perfect is like dead in the middle. That's what we'd like. This wind works for us. And this is one of those ones where an extra mile would work a little bit better because you can go up to your red line and you got a little bit better ball guide. But if you were going up against a headwind, now there is the opportunity, especially with some forward moving wind, if they could get just a little bit farther with well, that is a 5 power ball. They could get in front of that sand trap. They'd have catbird seat. Seems like they're going to have to put some curl on it. That's not that much wind. There you go. I'm glad they pulled a little curl off of it. And that wasn't a bad spot to hit. That's one ring great to the right. I think they might have made it. And overshot it. That was a nice shot. Hey, that was a nice shot. That was the right trajectory that you're looking for, and you can control that. I'm going to switch this up to an extra mile. I want to give myself plenty of room. Just a little teeny bit of backspin. 2.4. It's 2.1 per ring, so that leaves me 3. So it's 1 and a little. I'm going to put a little bit of curl on it to bring it back to the fairway. Hitting it perfect. I used to hit pretty consistently right in front, right on the rim of that bowl, where I was up just a little bit further, like right there. And I've been trying to lay it back just a little bit. This should put me dead center mid club from that distance. And I need to go back and watch the video and write that freaking distance down. So I have it on my sheet so I know if I'm hitting in the right area. But it seems like that's the area that I've been trying to hit to. Looks close. And I will tell you that this is not a bad shot. The sand from over here, especially if you have, being partial to a Spitfire, it's got topspin, so you can run it. You can do this shot like you would run a rapier. And really, it just boils down to hitting it perfect. And if they'd hit that perfect, nice shot. That would have been a nice shot. Okay, let's do the wind. It's 2.3 equals divided by 1.4 per ring. It's 1.97. So there's max. There's min. So there's mid. So I'm right at mid club. I'm going to do this with about 1 backspin. It's 1.97 ring, so right at 2. Oh, hey, 1 ring great to the right. I'm going to get that shot perfect 1 time this week. That's the deal. It's right there. What does a perfect look like? And shut my mouth. It's amazing when you can get done with it and hit it perfect. It's always nice to be able to hit those because then you know what kind of adjustments you need to make. So that's 3 times this week on this hole, and I haven't hit it perfect yet. Dang it. But I think I'm on track. And that was a 20% adjustment at 1.4 per club. And I laid back just a little bit so that I could be like right there at mid club. Hole number 2. What is hole number 2? Hole number 2 is a big par 5. All right, this is trying to get down there to the tip, and I'm working the number here. So I'm trying to get down into that tip. And the last time I was here, I had to take the shot from over here. I could not get up to that rough bump with a sniper. So I'm still going to bring a 3 power ball. It may take a 4 power ball in order, regardless of the drive. You won't need it on the drive, but on the second shot, it may take a 4 power ball to get over there. But I'm going to bring a Goliath to see I'm not a Goliath, but my Guardian, to see how my Guardian shoots on it. See if my Guardian has enough distance, if I can get far enough down in the hole. I can recover with my Guardian if I'm not in the right spot. So it's not there's not any harm, no foul here. Oh, hold on. I put that in an extra mile bag and I want to take a rock. My rock. That is a rare bag with one epic representing. The funny thing about it is I got my, the game came out in 2017. I started this account in June of 2017. I started my other account in May. And I knew right away I was going to need a second account. And that was in 2017 to 2018 to 2019. It was 2 years after, maybe even 3 years after playing the game before I got an Apocalypse. I think it was 2019, 2018 when the club card trading came out. Maybe 2019. And that's the only reason I've got some of these clubs. That club card trading came out and I was able to start moving them around. Very nice. Nice shot. Nice shot. They'll like that area. 3.5 topspin. I am +3. Two and 2/3 rings off. Right in that area. 2.8. I'm going to do a little over. I'm going to do 3. It's like a 10% pull. And hit it one ring great to the left, which is the side that I didn't want to hit it to. Which is why I pulled it a little bit more, because I was a little close down here on the end if I rolled out. I should have checked my side span. I think I had all the side span on there, but I'm not sure. The thing I don't like about second bounce rough bumps is, okay, when you do a first bounce rough bump, you kind of have an idea of where that first bounce is going to go, even if you don't hit it perfect. But when you're doing second bounce rough bumps, that first bounce is going to be in a different spot, and then it could drastically change where that second bounce is at, because the angle continues to get wider as it's going to that second bounce, so it's getting more and more and more off track. I've done them, but I'm not a huge fan. And I'm still a little short, so I mean, I'd have to bring a 4-power ball. I really like to get up there and just backspin it on, but that's not going to happen. .37, and it is at 1.1 per ring. I don't think I have that much room. There's 3. I'm going to do 3.5 rings. Hit it one ring great to the right. Just barely made it up there. Need to pull out a lot more wind. So the deal there is that if you want to get over there where you can do that rough bump, you're going to have to bring a 4-power ball. And I'm not sure that you can get, like, getting over there, like, if you would have a consistent sniper shot at it, like where you'd be at, like, especially if you had a headwind in that situation. I don't know. You're going to be really close with a sniper. So it may take a Guardian or a Big Dog or Horizon or something that'll hit farther than 172. All right, that was hole number 2. Hole number 2. Hole number 3. I think we got a great opportunity on this hole. We do. And I still have not gotten it to go in the hole on this hole yet either. I've made some shots. I don't think I've gotten an Albi yet this week, but I have made a hole in one. Taking a nav. I don't think I have in my inventory. I don't think I have any 1 power. Maybe there's a 1 power ball in here. Those baubles are 2s, I'm sure. That pinata ball is a 2. Is that the same? And the Olympus ball, that's a 1. I could drop that down here. It'd be a waste of the side spin, but if I needed to drop the wind down, that would be the ball. Off we roll. Let's get my trusty dusty calculator out here so I can actually do some math. I'm going to do a 20% wind adjustment here. That's what my notes say. I'm following my notes, and my notes are based off of just what I watched and from my own gameplay. I went out there and I shot a practice round. I had no numbers written down, and then I went back and watched the video and created some notes based off of what I observed in my practice round. And then I went and watched the qualifying round. And I played my qualifying round kind of off those notes. And then I was able to go back and see where I went wrong or what adjustments I need to make or where I went right. And in the places that I went right, I went back and did reverse math to see like exactly what happened. And one of the holes I made a massive mistake, but it was the right mistake. And I played those numbers in the qualifying round and was able to get it to go in again. So in the hole. Nice shot. Nice shot, man. 2.6 equals divided by 1.1. It's 2.84 rings. That's 2.84 rings. Exactly. Hitting it perfect. See if we can get it to go in the hole. I think that might be the first perfect I've hit in here. Wow. That jetted by a little fast. That's not a good spot to be in either, to have to make a... Well, my opponent made a hole in one, so I had a free shot. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. I came out of there just a little hot. I was trying to scoot what I was trying to do there, and I'm normally, in most wind situations, I play that shot where I'm a little bit fatter into the green, where, you know, or into this rough, I'm a little bit fatter. I was pushing up close to the front of the rough so that I had more room behind me to take out the wind, because I didn't want to have to go into the sand. It was bad enough having to go in the sand a little bit that I had to go in. That's why I had originally set the shot up a little bit more to the right, and I had to move it back over to the left when I put on all the side spin. In that situation, it would have been better to have a 2 or a 3 side spin ball. So that ball that has more side spin would have been better, because I could have scooted myself all the way out here towards the edge and still been fat in the rough, but opened up this window so that I could have worked the wind out, and I still would have been in the rough. That would have increased my odds if I made a bad wind adjustment. Hole number 4. Hole number 4. All right, this is all about going for this shot over here and going for the green. So it's all about bringing out the right ball for the situation. So if I've got a big headwind, and I'm not so sure that I couldn't get over there with a 3-power ball, even against a headwind. It seems like it's carrying a lot more. And I definitely want to bring this bag right here. I'm going to start off with the Titan. And we'll see which way the wind's blowing. I'm not so sure the 3-power ball isn't too powerful as well. This might be one of those cases where a 2-power ball with a little more topspin, and we'll have to see, because it seems like on max overpower I'm getting too far over there with the Titan. I'm getting into a really narrow part of the rough, where if I was back just a little bit more, the rough area is about twice as wide, and I can still bounce over from there. But this is definitely a hole that we have a serious opportunity to make eagle on. And it's all about that drive, getting the right bounce out of that rough. And anywhere over on the other side is good, but there are spots that are better. And you can overshoot it. If you catch it just right and you put too much topspin on it, you can't overshoot it. If I remember correctly, it doesn't take very much topspin here. You do have a great rough bump though from the right hand side, but I would rather take a putt or a short chip as opposed to having to take a shot from that distance. And with this wind, we should easily be able to make it over there. Now the 5-power ball, you can do it and you don't have to do any overpower. And the weekend round, that is absolutely, positively how I'd play it. If we had favorable wind, I would definitely play with the 5-power ball, because you don't have to do any overpower. You can just set the shot up so it's about hitting it perfect and not overshooting it. So the wind's going to carry me up to there. And I want it about, so if I came up into that area and put just a little, I'm going to put a full 3 topspin on it. Where does that put me? Okay, so let's take the wind out. That's 3 rings. And then I'm going to put the forward distance back in. And then I'm just going to rub up against the nubs. Hitting it perfect, and see if the wind will carry me up far enough to get the bounce that I'm looking for. So that I can hang out in the fatter part of the rough down there. And on that type of shot, 4 topspin would have been a little bit better, because where I've been hitting it farther up, it doesn't take very much topspin, so because you're so damn close to the green. In a situation like this, when you're used to running topspin, so like if you're used to playing a razor or you're used to doing that stuff, this is one of those cases where you get close to the hole. The closer, like put on the right hand side spin and get right up next to the hole. Get as close to the hole as you can, and play it from there. Because you'll get your bounce stuff will be truer, but your first bounce is going to be much longer, so wind will be a factor. Whereas the closer you can get it to you, the less you take more and more and more of the wind out, pulling it towards you and running topspin. But in that situation, you're better off to just put the backspin on and get right up to the hole. And don't play that game. Don't play that little wave down the hill, try and go a mile game. See if we can get this in the cup. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. Eagle. I think all three of these par fours are definitely eagleable, but this one, because we have that opportunity to get on and one, there is an opportunity on the other ones to get on and one, but this one, you have to admit, is the easier of the three to get on and one, and it's the least risky. All right, hole number 5. Hole number 5. What is hole number 5? I don't remember. All right. Now, the last time I was here, I brought out a 4-power ball, and I used my extra mile because I wanted to get the top spin, and I was able to start off on this side right here. And I watched my bounces, and I had a bounce that was out here towards the end, and then it went over. So it was one of those shots where you don't want to do any overpower. You actually want to get it to do the thing. If I remember correctly, I hit it great one side or the other, and I ended up clipping the rough. And I didn't get as full a rollout as I wanted, but I was able to get up in here, and you've got a great rough bump when you're on this fairway pad, as opposed to being on this fairway pad. If you're on this fairway pad, even with a 3-power ball, even when you're way up towards the tip, to do a rough bump up here, it's pretty narrow. If you've got any kind of headwind, it's probably not even going to happen. But if you've got any other kind of favorable wind, you might be able to get there if you've got a 3-power ball and you're way out at the tip. But if you're on this side, you got all kinds of options. So I'm trying to get over here. I'm going to try that again. So I'm pretty sure, what did I write on my notes here? EM or Apocalypse, 3 or 4-power ball, but I didn't make any choices. So I think I'm going to make a choice right here. I'm going to take the open ball, because I have more of those than any other 4-power ball. A low wind one probably wouldn't be bad, and I do have some 4-power low wind balls, but I'll be fine with that one. And I'm going to take an extra mile because of the top spin. I'm going to take that bag right there and see if we can get over to that fairway. And I will tell you that if I don't make it over to that fairway, it will be an epic fail. Because I don't think there's any recovering. There's no recovering where you could get up on the green and take a putt or a chip or do the thing. I think you'd have to shoot it from distance. It's not that you couldn't recover, but it's definitely, you're going to have to scramble. If I can get an opponent. Finding opponent. This is back in the old modem days. It's going... What's funny is we haven't used modems in forever, but you can hear that sound, and almost everybody knows what that sound is. All right, what kind of wind do we got? I got enough wind to fight against that? I do, maybe. If I do full overpower, I could get over there. Let's take the wind out. 3/4, about a ring and a half. And at 1 ring great to the right. That shouldn't kill me if I can get out there. It should still roll through. Nice bounce. I tried to set myself up as wide as I could, and then I knew I was going to put curl on it, so that gap down there, you want to hit that gap at the narrowest spot. And I started off on the right-hand side where it was still pretty narrow, but on the far right-hand side, knowing that the curl would kind of bring me back around. So in that situation, trying to pick it up when you're on those types of shots that you have a 2-ring great to the right probably would have been all right, and a 2-ring great to the left probably would have been all right. I still would have came out of the rough. 2-ring great to the left, I might have got stuck in the rough, but giving yourself the best opportunity possible. My opponent should be able to make it through nicely. Nope. That's that. That's that left side, that 2-ring grate to the left side. That's the same trajectory I would have been in. What are we doing on this hole? Okay, there's max. There's min. So, I mean, I'm pretty damn close to mid, which is 1.1 per ring. I'm going to do, how close can I get? Whew. I'm just going to do 2.5, 1.1. There's 2.2. I'm going to go like 2.8, so that's like a 10% adjustment. Oh, can't hit. Perfect. Great to the right. Great to the right. I've been in that spot before. I don't think I've hit one perfect into this hole yet either. And I've been pretty close. Taking an EM, extra mile, and an open ball. Max, OP. I'm doing plus 10 to the cup. See if my opponent can get in from there. Perfect. Nice on. What hole are we on here? Ah, I wrote that down on the wrong hole. We're on hole number 5. So I'm going to take an extra mile and an open ball. And I've got to erase the other notes. Look at that. What a rookie. What a rookie. You can print those note sheets out. And they've got pictures of all the holes so that you can write them on there. I'm used to just writing on a piece of scratch paper. The cool thing about the other ones is you can put them in a notebook so you've got them for other tournaments. You can go back and see what your notes were for that tournament so you can go right back to it instead of relearning the wheel every time. Hole number 6. Daydreaming. Hole number 6. All right. What is hole number 6? And I'm still unsure about the wind adjustment here. I've been hitting the rough. So, but I don't know that I've hit one in here. It seems like it's been a little short. I'm taking a sniper. And I'm taking a katana. Am I taking a katana? And I'm taking a navigator. Now I can't take a turkey ball and cut that wind down. So I'm going to take a turkey. Let's see if we can get it done. Wait for the 27 buttons you got. It's just one more click. See what the wind is. See how much I'm going to do. If it's a headwind or a tailwind, I'm going to do. Oh man, I'm doing like a 30% wind adjustment. I've seen people hit good. I've seen people hit hole-in-ones on this hole from lots of different areas, and I've hit hole-in-ones on this hole from different areas. But I think consistency-wise, that rough bump does give you the best day in and day out chance. These other shots, as soon as you involve that slope, it's all about speed. So if you hit it one time in the same exact area, but you're going just a little bit slower, it'll respond to that contour different. And so everything's got to be exactly the same, one shot to the next, in order to sink it. So 2.7 equals, we're on hole 6. We're at min club, so it's 1.3 times 2.7 equals. All right, I guess that's it. Whew. I am right there. It's a 2.7 adjustment. .7. Oh, everything's one ring great to the right today. That was with a 30% wind adjustment, but I did 1.3 times the wind divided by 1.3, and it ends up at 2.7. So the wind was 2.7, so it was 2.7. See if my opponent can get that nice little chip in. In the hole. I'm so uncool. I don't have anything popping out of the hole when I make shots. I need to put in one of those special tees so I can feel like I'm in the in crowd. It's a draw. Good luck. All right, what hole are we on? Hole number 7. All right, we got a great opportunity on hole number 7. So let me go look at it real quick. I just want to get it, refamiliarize myself. That's the hole. I'm taking an extra mile, a katana. Extra mile and a katana. This is another one of those holes where I can bring a turkey ball because I'm looking for the 2-power low wind. Side spin's not as big a factor. Looking for a second shot with a Hornet. That is all I need. I'm doing 4 top spins. Stay to the left. And with my Hornet, I'm doing some crazy adjustment. I'm trying some crazy adjustment on there. We'll see if it works. I won't tell you what it is. I'll do it and then we'll see how bad it is. And if it's really bad, then I won't tell you. I probably will, but if it works out and it goes in the hole, then it'll make more sense. So that's what we're hoping for. Of course. Hello. There you go. I never understand why people set up shots so close to transitional areas that it really, like, it gives you no opportunity. Like, you're almost, it doesn't really give you any opportunity except for like perfect shots all the time, and everything's always going your way instead of leaving yourself a little bit more room. So if anything happens, your fault, my fault, nobody's fault. It's a little bit easier to recover because there is no recovery. You're fine. You just ended up 4 top spin. 1.5. It's 2.1 per ring, so there's 1. 0.5. I need to put a little bit of curl on it to bring it back to the fairway. Hit it 1 ring great to the right. I'm still working that top spin. I put all the curl on there last time and I hit it 1 ring great to the left and I ended up in the sand. I ended up rolling off the top. I originally started with 3 top spin and 3 topspin left me a ways back. So I went to 3.5, and 3.5 right down the middle was fine. But it still left me back. I still had some room, so I upped it to see what 4 would look like, and both times I've shot it with 4, I've hit a grate to the left and the right and ended up off the surface. That's all right. I can make it from there. I made it in the qualifying round with my Spitfire. It's possible. I'm not sure if I ended up in the sand or the rough. That side's a little bit flatter, so it's a little bit, you can get caught up in the rough on that side. Just a bit outside. Chip in to win in my Spitfire. There's max club, there's half, there's, oh, I'm in that a little farther back in that quarter range. Two. It's about, I'm gonna say 8 per ring here. So there's 4. There's 8 per ring. There's 2. A little. Hit it. 2 rings great to the left. Just a bit outside. That would have been close. Those distances down there, it really boils down to hitting it perfect, and the sand wedge and your rough iron are super accurate when you start getting them close. I don't know how they work for everybody else, but I've played those clubs exactly the way that I play them right now for a long time, and those numbers are like, I feel pretty confident with my sand wedge and rough iron. Of course, it always helps if you can hit perfect. Hello. I shot a video on rough irons and sand wedges working your numbers. It's probably the best video I ever shot, because it's probably the most helpful video I ever shot. I have a AAA playlist, and I'm pretty sure it's in there. 8, hole number 8. Hole number 8. All right, this par 3 right here, and I'm going over, I'm doing 2 backspin, and I think it's got like 1 left-hand side spin. All right, let's go check it out. I'm taking a grizzly and a katana. Grizzly and a katana. This is another one of those holes you could take a low wind ball, but I still haven't worked the wind stuff out on this hole, so I'm not fully invested in it yet. If you set it up right and you hit it with a katana or a lower wind ball, and you make the right wind adjustment and you hit it perfect, you should, potentially have the same exact shot. Just with a lower wind ball, it's just a smaller adjustment. In rookie, it can be marginal, but in expert especially, those low wind balls are huge. That's where it really starts getting huge. I'm sure that they're huge in masters, but in expert, those low wind balls can be big. See if they can get up there. All right, hole number 8. Let's make sure I'm looking at the right hole here. So it should be 2 backspin and a little bit of side spin, if I remember correctly. I'll do the wind first. All right. Let me back out in this area. I'm doing a couple backspin. I'm doing 4.44 rings. Exactly 4.44. Great to the right again. My timing is just that little bit off every stinking time. And I came into the left, so I didn't take out enough wind. And I did a 0.9 there instead of a 1.0, and that's why it was 4.4 instead of 4. So the 0.9 helped me out. I did move it, but that was with a 25% wind adjustment. So I mean, theoretically, if I moved it over just a little, like with a 5 or a 10%, that'd be like, that would have been right at the cup, but that was still a great to the right. I'll have to go back and watch that and see how bad that went. It's a draw. I think I actually made a hole-in-one on that hole this week. I know I made a hole-in-one on one of the par 3s during the qualifying round, and that might have been the one. Hole number 9. Let's check out hole number 9. Hole number 9 is the one. We need to get down into that pocket, and I'm not really happy with my setup shot, my drive shot to get down there. I may have to switch, and this may actually be the time to switch. And in this situation, this might be another situation where my Apocalypse is a better club, even though it doesn't have as much ball guide. Might be a better club, but I'm gonna have to figure out how much backspin to put on it in order to make it stick down there, because with my rock it's a half a backspin, so I know I'm using some backspin. I believe that this club is 1.5 per ring. I think. I go first, so I don't have any time to check it out. Okay, there's my red line. I want to actually pull back a little from my red line. That's part of the thing here is I can pull back. I'm at plus 12 right there. I'm gonna put a whole backspin on it. 2.7. If I did a 10%, that would be 2 rings. That's 3. I'm gonna lean to the right. Hitting it perfect. And so that was with one backspin at the plus 12. So let me make some notes here. So I used a APOC at the plus 12 mark with one backspin. And I probably could have use 3/4 backspin. We'll see where it puts me on this shot right here. But I think I need to be forward a little teeny bit. You don't want to take any risk of rolling off in the front there. But I did leave just a little teeny bit on the table. We'll see if I can get into the pocket that my whole goal is to get just deep enough into the hole so that I'm in the pocket that I like to be in for the next shot. That's 0.9 times the wind divided by 1. Let's do the wind first. 2.2. It's 1.98 rings. I like to get where I'm right there, so I'm a little shy of it, but I still got really good control of the end of my ball guide. So it's 2 rings. And that puts me about a half a ring into power. And if I remember correctly, it rolls out just a little bit here, so I might be all right. Hitting it perfect. We'll see. Looks like it's got the roll. Just a bit outside. And I actually took a little bit of wind off. If I hadn't taken that 10% off, I'd have been right there. It'd been super close. Super. Speed was pretty good. I didn't do any adjustment on it. I pushed it up to the red line, and then I found the spot where it was going. I didn't do any top spin, side spin, any adjustment on it. It was almost going, it was right there at that point where you're not sure if it would bounce off the flagpole or if it would have stopped and went in the hole. It seemed like it was going slow enough, but sometimes you can be right there at that where you don't think it's going, like if it hits the flagpole, it'll go in and it'll bounce off the flagpole. Hitting it perfect. Now it's got the video. Does he have the distance? Oh, that was close. Loose. In the hole. All right, I think that was a pretty uneventful front. I think I only picked up one shot. You got to pick up one on every side. The whole goal is that the minimum score should never be in doubt. So that's if you're new to the game or if you haven't been getting the tournament results you're looking for, your first goal to make sure that you can put a check in that box is that minimum score is never in question. And that means that now you're looking at every hole as an opportunity to pick up a shot. And so it's super important to pick up shots. So you have to pick up, like every single hole, you need to have a game plan on what you're going to do to try and pick up a shot on that hole. So when you get to that hole, you've been shooting. Especially on drive shots, where you're not going to end up on the green in one, where you're going to have a second shot, is trying to pinpoint that drive so that you're in the same spot every time, over and over and over and over and over again. And if you hit it great to the left or the right, you may be off just a little to the left or the right, but the shot is almost exactly the same. And really just like giving yourself a little bit of room to do it so that you can try and pick those shots up. I'm sure I haven't seen what weekend rounds look like, taking time off and then coming back, and I really don't know like what kind of scores we're looking at in the weekend rounds, but I'm sure that you're going to have to pick up at least 3 per side to have any shot. And that's on top of the minimum. So, a tournament like this, your minimum score is 24, and if you're picking up 3 per side, that's 6, that's a 30. So your round starts at a 30. Anything you can pick up over that, now you're giving yourself an opportunity to get a banner or to get up into that top 10. Sure, it's tight. That's all right. We picked up one, so that helps. We'll see how the back 9 goes. All right, that was the front 9 of the Northshore tournament in the opening round of the Rookie Division. Thanks for watching.